time we discussed adverbial phrase. So this time we are discussing adverbial clauses. Remember we said that adverbials refer to anything that does the work of an adverb. So here we are into the adverbial clause. But then we need to understand what a clause is. Now, an adverbial clause in the first instance is a type of subordinate clause, and it does the work of adverb. It depends on another clause to make a complete sense. So it is different from a phrase because it has a subject and a verb, and different from the main clause or a sentence because it is incomplete. So based on this now, I want you to understand that there are two main types of clauses. So the main types of clauses now are the main clause, which is also known as principal or independent clause, and then the subordinate clause or the dependent clause. Subordinate is also known as dependent because it gets support from the main clause. Under subordinate clauses, we have three types. We have adverbial clause, adjectival clause, and noun clause. Since our topic is on adverbials, we are going to start with adverbial clauses. And let us now first of all be able to differentiate a clause from a sentence. Then the main clause is mostly a simple sentence. That is a sentence that contains a single idea. Usually it has one verb. But in most cases, the important thing about it is that it conveys a single idea. So here I now have John wrote a letter. I am writing on the board. The student has gone home. So you find out that here I have just one thought. I'm discussing one thing, and that is wrote a letter. I may have a compound subject with one verb. For instance, Peter and Paul visited their uncle. Peter and Paul visited their uncle. One idea, that of visit, action performed by Peter and Paul. Two persons performing one action. That again is a simple sentence. It has a single idea. Then let us look at subordinate clauses. I don't want to bother use the other forms since we are on adverbials. So let us see the type of clauses or the type of subordinate clauses that are under the family of adverbials. Remember, we will still go back to talk about different types of adverbial clauses. So we now have here, because he was late, as if he were mad when the teacher was teaching. You notice that because he was late, you want to know what I'm saying. Usually in a sentence, if we are in oral discussion and I just said because he was late, you want to know why, unless you have said something and this answer concludes what you said. Otherwise, this is hanging. That is why it is a clause. I have was, which is a verb. I have he, which is a subject now or a pronoun. So in this case now, we said that a subordinate clause usually has a subject and a verb. So here we have one. Then here again, he and mad, teacher was. But then we find out that the sentence, they call it now, what we have here are incomplete to answer sentences. So they are called sentence fragments. And because they are fragments, they do not make a complete sense. I just gave examples of the type that can function as adverbials. When we go further, we will talk about different types of adverbials and adverbial clauses and the ways that introduce them. For now, I'll just list the different types of adverbial clauses. Next class, we'll discuss them in detail. So these are types of adverbial clauses. We are going to discuss them one after the other, but that should be in another class. Let us just list them. We have adverbial clause of manner that tells how. Adverbial clause of place tells where. Adverbial clause of time tells when. Adverbial clause of degree tells the extent. Purpose states the purpose of an action. Condition tells you the condition under which something will happen. Then clause of contrast. We also have adverbial clause of reason and result. So what you have to do now is go back to the type of adverbs we did. Remember I mentioned them and told you that Some appear under certain other conditions. So here we have almost 7 or 9 adverbial clauses. In the next class, we pick them one after the other with sentences illustrates how they function. Thank you.